Hello. Last but certainly not least, we have Gemini. Wherever Gemini shows up for you in your chart. Also, definitely be sure to check out your human design profile reading. All of those are up. And, because not every Gemini is a 1-3 or a 6-3 or, so it's just an additional source of information for you. If you don't know your human design profile, there is a link in the description of those videos for you to get your body graph. And on there will be your profile. You don't have to know a single thing about human design other than, of course, your profile in order to listen to those readings. But maybe someday you would want to look into your human design. There's a lot of information on there. So let's get you an oracle card, and then of course we'll get your tarot out. Interesting. Yes. Just say yes. Reminds me of that Yes Man movie. We have the High Priestess. Finally, like being guided by your intuition, like what feels good for you. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Two of Cups. We have the Knight of Wands. 9 of Cups. Love that. 10 of Wands. And then the Chariot at the bottom of the deck. 2 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. I'm curious if the books... Let's see. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I think the book just has a bunch of yeses in it. And it does. Like a page and a half of yes. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, really, like that Yes Man movie. Have you seen that with Jim Carrey? If you haven't, or if it's been a while, maybe you should watch it. But he literally just starts saying yes to like literally everything. For whatever reason, I keep looking at the mountains in the background. That could have some significance for you. I mean, mountains generally represent like the journey. It could be a new journey that you are going on. But I mean, like these type of mountains remind me of like West Coast mountains, like Utah, Arizona, Nevada, maybe New Mexico, like Western Colorado, because I feel like, the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, like they're covered in trees. For the most part, they're really pretty green, and these ones are just rock. So, I don't know. So if that's something, if you're planning on going to one of those places, visiting, if you feel called to one of those places, even like a retreat or some type of getaway, like if you have an opportunity for that. So we have the High Priestess to start. And for me, the High Priestess is our direct connection to our star player, right? And for me, that's my higher self. It could be God, source, divine, if you believe in any of those. It could just be your direct connection to your intuition, because we all have that. And, there's this feeling of like downloads here, kind of almost like this veil opening. And, we can see these little drops. There's even this dot right at the third eye, like knowing the direction, like seeing it, where you are heading. Even, their eyes are closed, but we can still see, there's the illusion there of their eyes. So it's again, it's like not being guided by your sense of vision, but being guided more by your intuition, by your third eye, even, the direction that is like being kind of fed to you. There's also even a level of trust and surrender that goes into that. Really, trusting yourself and trusting the messages that you are receiving, wherever those messages are coming from, right? And like honoring those. by trusting them, by allowing yourself to take action towards them. Because then we have the Knight of Wands. Wands have to do with action. It's the motivation behind the actions that we take, creativity, passion. How are we communicating those things? I also see wands as being information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things. We figure out what works, what doesn't work, what do we like, what don't we like. So this is literally, and a knight, knights are the ones that are actually out there in battle, fighting, right? I mean, like, they're the ones that are on the front line. They're the one that's actually using their skills, like using their knowledge to fight or do whatever knights do. And the Knight of Wands is also like, it's fun, it's playful, it's, seeing things as an adventure. There's this flame that's on their drum there. So again, it's even, using your passion, using, the things that light you up to guide you, and even seeing those things as being fun, like playing around with those things, maybe even trying out different things, marching to the beat of your own drum, literally. Even this horseback here is dancing. And it could even just be, intuitively following what your yes is. Since, the card that came out was just say yes, like something that you already maybe know to be true, following that. Allowing yourself to even experiment with whatever your own beat is. I love that, because then we move on to the Page of Cups. Cups have to do with our emotions. And the High Priestess is also attached to Cancer or Pisces, depending on who you ask, but it's water nonetheless. We have the Nine of Cups out here, the Two of Cups. We have the Chariot, which is also Cancer. So there's a lot of, we don't have any air out here. So there's no thinking. Tell a Gemini that. There's no, it's like, you've thought enough. And now it's time to act on your emotions, act on your intuition, get out of your head, basically. So pages are new. They come before knights, right? So they're the ones that are in training. They're learning something new. They're the newbies. They're like allowing themselves to be new. And again, like I said, cups have to do with our emotions, how we feel about things, how we feel about our lives, about ourselves, about other people. We have, all this energy coming out of their heart center too. So it's being led by your heart. We even have, this hand, and it almost looks like their soul, reaching out. And then we have this other hand coming in from the right side of the card, which is the future. And, their hands are making this heart. There's all this energy between them. I mean, of course, it can be a romantic thing, but it's more about making the right connections, making heart-centered connections. Because truly, I mean, we don't know who this hand belongs to. So we don't know if it's romantic. It could be a business relationship. And you guys both create something that you love, that you have a passion about, that you have an emotional attachment to. It can be friendships. It could be, building a community. But what I love about this card, and it's come out like a decent amount of times throughout these readings, is this pig flying. Because usually when we say the phrase "when pigs fly," we're usually saying that in a sense of something is impossible, right? Because pigs can't fly. Well, this pig is flying. So something that you didn't think was possible is going to become possible. And truly it is by following your yes. It is by following what you feel intuitively guided towards, what lights you up, what makes you feel good, what feels like even like a fun adventure, not, something, I mean, like a little bit of fear in there is normal, but it's like, you know, beyond that fear on the other side of it, are you excited or are you dreading the thing, But something that you thought was impossible, like maybe you could not imagine how it was ever going to happen, it becomes possible, because then we have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. Your desires being met, feeling purposeful, getting exactly what you wanted, your dreams coming true, right? This treasure, hidden treasure, even, since I'm even focusing on that treasure, maybe it was something you had there, like it felt impossible to find the funding for, to make as much money as you wanted to, or something along those lines. It becomes possible. And then it's interesting because we move on to the Two of Cups, which, I keep kind of going back to this thing happening here with those two hands making the heart. So the Two of Cups is about shared values. I mean, these two people came in with their full cups, and now, the connection, the partnership is keeping the flow of energy in those cups. Like, you're not giving more than you are receiving. There's a reciprocity there. Like, again, both people are coming in with their two full cups, and they have the emotional capacity to give from their cup. They have the emotional capacity to receive from their cup, which also means that you do too. But you also, like, it's like you first have to know how to fill your own cup. You have to be able and willing and open to receiving as much as you are giving. So it could just be making the right connections by like saying yes to whatever this thing is. It's like, you just meet the right people, whether that is a romantic thing. I definitely, I think it has more to do with like business or community, but I'm throwing it out there since it's showing up. But you could be making just the right connections, like feeling like you've met your people. And then we end with the Ten of Wands. Tens are completion. Wands, again, everything that we were talking about with wands. And the Ten of Wands speaks to burden, but we can see that she is in motion here. So, there's a few ways that this Ten of Wands can go. Okay, so we pack up all of our experiences, the lessons that we've learned, because like I said, with wands, right, it is the experiences that we've been through, the wisdom that comes from trying things, right? And she packed them all up in her suitcase there, packed up this ox or this buffalo, whatever this is, and she's moving forward, right? So did she just come off of, like, did she just come down this hill or this mountain, because it is lit up? Or was she walking from this side of the card and she saw this path and was like, that's not it for me? That seems like a burden, having to get this thing and me up that hill. So it's almost even too like using discernment. So it's interesting. Like, I mean, it could go really two different ways. Like, are you, walking on your path, there's this, side quest that opens up, that's lit up for you, and you're like, I actually don't think that's what's right for me. I'm going to keep moving in the direction that I was originally heading in. Or did you just come off of this mountain and now you're on like flat ground, and so that would to me represent, any type of, if you feel like things have been difficult lately, like the actions that you've been taking, the things that you've been trying, just been difficult or have felt like a burden, then that would be coming to an end. It's like you've reached the climax, and now, it's smooth sailing. And especially with the Chariot at the bottom of the deck, because this is things moving forward quickly, as we can see in this card, right? And this person isn't even really holding on that tight. They're just going with the flow. The Chariot is being divinely guided. It's not like there's anything that's really controlling these horses, or, the representation of the light and the dark, our shadow side, our light side, and them being on the same page and moving forward in the same direction instead of going in two separate directions. Even on the High Priestess card, we have the dark on this side, the light on this side. I'm going to put the names of these runes in a comment on the video too, so you can look them up. I read them in the Virgo or the Leo reading. And if I remember, I think it was Virgo. If I remember, I'll put like a timestamp if you want to listen to me read them from my little book of runes. Otherwise, you can just Google them really fast. But all of them talked about trying new shit. So again, being divinely guided, things are going to start moving quickly, forward very quickly. And literally all it was because you said yes to the right opportunity at the right time. And maybe you had no certainty that you were saying yes to the right thing, or it really was just following your intuition, feeling the fear, doing it anyway type of thing. I love that. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.